Welcome to New Focus Approach to Mathematics Basic 9. This is revised edition. And in this lesson, we are looking at probability of dependent events. This lesson can be found in page 204, dependent event. Remember in book 8, we did independent event, and I told you we are going to do dependent event as we progress. I want to talk of dependent event, or when we say two events are dependent, we are looking at the fact that the occurrence of one event changes the probability of the occurrence of the other. Okay, so I have two events, and then if I have the chance of picking the first event and the second event, and the first event affect the second event, then we say the two events are dependent. Imagine you have a bag containing three red balls and two blue balls. Now, if you draw one ball, okay, and do not put it back into the bag, the total number of balls changes. This affects the probability of drawing a specific color on the second draw. For example, if I decide to draw the first ball and it happened to be red, I can find the probability of having red. And the probability of having red is going to be the red over the total sample space, total sample, which is 5. Now, after taking the chance of taking the first ball and it is red, if I'm to do another one, probability of maybe taking a blue ball, realize that because I didn't replace the first one, I'm going to have the chance of picking the blue ball will be 2 over 4 because the number of balls has reduced. Initially it was 5, and the chance of picking the first one, if it is 3 over 5, chance of picking the second one, if it is blue, the chance will change because it's going to be 2 over 4 instead of 2 over 5, and that is what we call dependent event. Additional examples can be like you having deck of cards, and you are picking them without replacement. You always get events that are dependent. Drawing marbles from a bag, like I just demonstrated to you, without putting them back, creates a dependent event. Choosing students for a team without repeating names can also be dependent event. And then selecting fruit from a basket one after the other creates dependent event. Now let's take one more example to end the concept of dependent event. Let's say a box contains 5 green balls and then 5 green apples and 4 red apples. If 2 apples are picked one after the other without replacement, what is the probability of picking 2 green balls? Right, so look at this question. Currently, we have the number of green balls. Let me use G to represent that. And then we have 5 of them. The number of red balls. Let me use R to represent that. And we have 4 of them. Now, the number of sample space becomes 9, right? Good. Now, we are to pick from the box 2 balls. We'll pick them one after the other. And so we'll pick the first one. We don't put it back. We'll pick the second one. Now, the question says, what's the probability of picking the 2 balls which are green or both green? So let me say probability of both green. Okay, and probability of both green is going to be equal to, probability of picking the first to be green, let me call it G1, and probability of picking the second also to be green, let me call it G2. Okay, now because the events are dependent, the chance of picking the first one will affect the chance of picking the second one. So the chance of picking the first one to be green, since we have 5 green balls, is going to be 5 divided by the sample space, which is 9, times, now I have picked the first one, and my chance of picking the first one, and I pick green, that means I have 5 over 9 chance. Now I have put the green aside. I'm going to pick another one, which my chance is also going to be picking green. And so now the total number of green has reduced to 4, right? Over total sample space has reduced to 8. So you see what has happened. So when I put this together, I'm going to have 5 over 9 times 1 over 2. That is reducing the 4 over 8 to the lowest form. Now, when we simplify this, we have 5 over 18 to be the answer. So the chance of picking two balls and each of them happen to be green, that chance becomes 5 over 18. I'm sure this has given you a very fair idea as to what dependent event is. Right. In our next video, we'll be solving more questions in line with dependent event. Thanks so much for watching.